you know, he starts out the film, he's a young idealist, and as his life progresses, he really loses his way, and he becomes seduced by, you know, material things, money, gets a family, and really the ideals of his youth start to fade away. You know, he forgets what it was that drove him when he was a young man, and then of course there's this sort of catastrophe, and it becomes a kind of wake-up call for him, and he realizes that he can't live with himself, you know, having this life.
Well, Socrates is a very sort of strong, principled character, which is why I liked him. I've not really heard of it being common that attorneys behave in this way, or are quite so. You know, would sacrifice their families, but I think sometimes maybe it happens without them realizing. You know, they just work, they do what they think is right, and then they forget. They spend a lot of time on their work, and then they look, and there's not as much time for their family.
Well, I'm one of the bad guys, yeah, and he is bad. He's, I mean, what's I think very bad. The interesting thing about my character is that he's quite polished and quite sophisticated, and he doesn't he's not like your typical bad guy. He doesn't go around beating up people, but he is very, yeah, he sort of, he facilitates all the nasty things. He's you know, background in the law, and he's sort of like, he's very pernicious. He's very always scheming, always trying to get people to do things, and facilitating the bad guys, making what the bad guys do look good. So he's very nasty.
Alicia, great, lovely girl, really lovely girl, and she's really very sorry that she's not here. I spoke to her a few days ago, and she had a commitment in America, so she couldn't come, but she's a great girl. I had a wonderful time working with her.
Well, all of them were really nice to me, really nice to work with, and particularly there was a couple of moments. There was one actor, Dimitris, who plays one of our student time friends. He was really brilliant, really fun to work with. We had a lot of good times together, and also Mr. Vegos. He was great. We only had a couple of short scenes, but it was really very touching. It was a great kind of moment where I arrived back home to visit my father, and he's working in the garden and turns to greet me, and it was very touching, and everyone was very moved. It was a very simple moment, but I think it's something that means a lot for a lot of people. And I was just told that Mr. Vegos isn't very well, so which I was very sorry to hear. But it was an honor to get to work with him. I understand he's a great figure in Greek entertainment and culture.
Yeah, it was great. We had a good time on the film. Yeah. It was great. I mean, I really loved Greece. And I loved all the crew, and you know, I felt like they really tried to involve me in their sense of community, and that's a very big thing here, and I adored that.
Mr. Tsimas was extremely passionate. I think even if just a little bit of his passion comes through in this film, which means very much to him, then I think it should. I hope audiences will feel that, because he really cares a lot about it, and I think his heart is very much in the right place, which is not something I can say about that many other directors. So that's a really special thing about him, which is great.
Well, it was interesting working with Nico, because it was funny sometimes, because Nico also is in a typical Greek way, can be very excitable and loud, and you kind of you listen to what he has to say, and you're kind of like, oh my God, what's this going to be about now? And the interpreter says, well, he just wants you to go around the table there, okay? So
lost in translation.
Yeah, exactly. But he was. I mean, I think he cast the film very well, and what's great about him, like, he's an experienced director, and that he doesn't kind of bother. You know, he knows actors, and he knows what actors can do. So he's happy to let you do, and then, you know, guide you a little bit here and there. But he was wonderfully supportive of all of us, I think.
We filmed in Santorini for just 2 days. I would love to go back to the islands and go around, but also we went up to the mountains, and that was spectacular. Where did we go? What was the place called? Papigu? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Oh man, I was so in love with that place. It was so beautiful. I mean, there's so much beauty in this country, so much, and I guess everybody knows about the islands because that's where everyone wants to go on vacation. But I felt like the mountains seemed to be a bit of a secret. I mean, it was just like, oh, spectacular. So I would very happily come back to Greece in a heartbeat.
It was fantastic. I mean, you know, just look where we are. It's you know, Athens is a stunningly beautiful city, and you know, I love Greek food, Greek people. I've in Los Angeles I have some friends who are Greek Canadian, and it was such a pleasure to come here and you know, work in this beautiful place.
Oh well. Apart from, you know, Ferstopoli, Limera. What else did I learn? I learned one sentence. Oh, how did it go? Kyrie Zimas. I might get this wrong. Kyrie Zimas, είναι Σάββατο. Πάμε. Έχω είναι καυτό ραντεβού.
Very nice. Who was it with?
Oh, I'm not telling you, that's a secret.
I learned to say Latrevo tis panakopita, because we had that for breakfast every day, and that was my favorite.
Unfortunately, no, I was kind of in and out. I mean, I remember years ago I learned a few Greek words, but because I spent about a month here, between here and Crete, but it was all gone, and as you get older, if you don't use it, you kind of lose it. But no, I would like it's you know, you go to Spain or France or something, you can kind of read a little bit like the words and pronounce them, but when we come to Greece, because of the alphabet, we're completely lost, you know. But no, I'd like to pick up a few. Maybe today I can pick up a few Greek words.